It is the Sports Fix here on Flow FM. Let's take a look at Barossa Light and Gawler football now, but with a twist. The women's competition is continuing on. I think we've just gone through round 6 of matches last Sunday. And I tell you what, the competition's going beautifully. There's senior women's, under 16s, under 13s as well. And the chairperson from the committee that looks after this, Adam Butcher, joins me on the line right now. Adam, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Chase. Good to be on.
Good to have you on. And let's talk women's football across the Barossa Light and Gawler regions. Your competition's expanded this year. Things seem to be going really, really well. Good numbers and good crowds getting along to the games on Sundays as well.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I think we're up to about 400 girls now playing in the competition now. Obviously through under 13s, 16s and seniors, we've got close to 400 girls now playing football in the Barossa and Gawler area. So, yeah, it's fantastic.
One of my biggest worries when women's football really started to take off was at local level just how much of an impact or an effect it would have on netball. And I love what Barossa Light and Gawler have done where the girls who are playing netball on Saturday, some of them are playing football on Sunday, some of them are just footballers, and football's their first love, and they're only playing on Sunday. But you've made it possible for the talented athletes around Barossa Light and Gawler to be able to play both if they so wish, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I live in Kapunda myself, and we've had a very talented football, netball, basketball, you name it, in Darcy Brown. Obviously, she came through when we first started this league, and I actually got to coach her in her first season playing for Kapunda. And obviously, having Darcy in our team, we won the premiership. So it just opens up for those girls that you obviously play more than the one sport and stuff like that. And we've actually extended the season this year to 11 games for the juniors and 13 for the seniors. So they're getting a little bit more footy without putting the pressures of playing when the girls play their netball finals as well.
And it's run at a traditional time of year for football, which is the other thing I like. I got along to South Gawler and watched the presentation night for the women when they handed out their jumpers, and I'm sure this was replicated at every club across Barossa Light and Gawler. Now you've got a situation where each club in Barossa Light and Gawler feels like it's got 6, multiple teams involved, 3 women's teams joining the ranks of the men and boys. They're a genuine part of the club now, and they feel that way.
Oh, absolutely. And South Gawler's a good reflection on that. And they've only had one team, so they've only had like an under 13s or an under 16s team in the last couple of years. And then this year, with the involvement of women's football as it keeps evolving every year, they've managed to get 3 sides this year. So they've been the real improvers this year, going from just one side last year to all 3 this season. And most clubs now have got all 3 around the place as well. So it's been fantastic. And it's a credit to all the people behind those clubs and the clubs for accepting it. It's fantastic the way the clubs get on board and get around their women's football.
Now, the closeness in proximity to the city limits in Adelaide means that a lot of the really talented girls that start out in Barossa Light and Gawler normally move down and play their footy in the city. We've had plenty that have been running around for Central Districts in the SANFLW season. They just missed the finals this year, but Shelby Smith, a Gawler Central girl originally, was runner-up in the SANFLW Best and Fairest Award, made the Team of the Year. This is not uncommon. There's been plenty of success stories that have come out of Barossa Light and Gawler women's football.
Absolutely, and she's not the only one to make the Team of the Year out of our competition. So Ellie Kellogg, who's actually named captain of that team, is also the captain of Glenelg, and she played for Gawler Centrals as well, and also coached Gawler Centrals when Matt Knight's not there. So that's another one, as well as Isabel Stammer, who's come from Tanunda, who made the ruck position in the Team of this year as well. So yeah, we've got quite a few girls, obviously from sample in our league, and it just helps raise the profile of our league and obviously the level as well. So it's been fantastic for having those girls come back to our league and play.
Yeah, and that's the next point, isn't it? I mean, their season is over now in the SANFLW, and a lot of these girls have come back to play. I noticed Shannon Murphy is back playing with Gawler Central. There's a couple of others running around back at Williston. They're a very impressive unit at the moment this year. So a lot of support from the girls who've moved into the SANFLW. Their seasons are finished, and then they're coming back into Barossa Light and Gawler and hopefully bringing some friends with them.
Yeah, hopefully. Quite a few. I think at the moment we've got around 25 to 30 girls from Stanford playing across the clubs at the moment, and that's coming from not just central districts. We've got girls from North Adelaide, Sturt, Glenelg, and as well as central districts. So we've got quite a few clubs from the Stanford that have girls playing our league. So it's just great. And what they bring, hopefully they can bring a few friends with them in the coming weeks. And, we get a few more girls out there playing. It'd be great.
Yep. Now, an unusual situation has developed in the Adelaide Footy League. So what used to be the AMOs, for those listening across South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, that know the old AMO League. Well, there's women's competition in there as well, of course. And the SANFLW girls that have finished their season now, if they've played more than 8 games in that competition, they're not allowed to play in the Adelaide Football League. Is that right?
That's correct, and that's happened the last couple of years in the Adelaide Footy League. So we get, obviously, those girls want to play. They train for 10 months a year, and some of them might have only played the 8 games. So it's not a lot of football for training 2 or 3 nights a week for 10 months. So we're happy to take those girls in and provide opportunities for them to play more football. It only helps the profile of our league and our league, standard of our league getting better and better.
Now, on that, I believe you've come up with a unique way, or it's not, I wouldn't say it's unique, actually, an innovative way is probably a better word, of trying to, I guess, make sure that there's not a super team that develops inside Barossa Light and Gawler women's football out of the SANFL girls that come in. Obviously, if there's existing connections to Barossa Light and Gawler clubs, those girls are exempt from this. But for those girls that have played SANFLW and want to come into your competition, I believe you've set up or will be setting up a little draft. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. We sort of cut all registrations to our league from sample clubs at April 30. So anyone that was already pre-existing had played in our league before and coming back, obviously we'll allow those in. But we thought the thing is, with a lot of the girls, they want to go and play with each other. So then you obviously end up with a super team. So our way of sort of negating that was to bring in a draft. So anyone that wishes to play any more football will go into a draft and then get drafted out to the clubs that need them. So, it's a great opportunity for those girls and to help boost those clubs that don't have as many sample girls in it. So, it'll be great. Hopefully we get a few into that.
Love that. So the SANFLW Grand Final was held last weekend, and so that season is done now. So how long have the girls got to register, and when will the draft be held?
So they've got until basically next Thursday. So I'm not sure on what the date is with that exactly, but we'll have the draft look at having the draft next Thursday. So they've got about a week and a half to get in there and get their names to us, and we'll put them in the draft, and hopefully we get a few out there.
Quick consultation with Dr. Google tells me that will be the 9th of June. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah, still plenty of games to go. Half the season still to go in Barossa Light and Gawler women's football. Plus, of course, you'll have finals time as well. I imagine you'll take a little break over the June long weekend, and then there's the country championships coming up in July as well, isn't there? Yeah,
there is. Yep, which obviously we'll have probably about 95% of the girls will be from our league that play in the Central Zone Carnival, which it has been the last 2 or 3 times that we've done it. And we've been lucky enough to get hold of Sean Ribbons, who was the Central District's original league coach, to come on board and coach the zone team. So we've got a really good coach, as well as Caitlin Rosenswire, of course, who was on the Crows AFLW list and Central District Star, is helping out with that as well. So.
Now, Adam, just to finish off with, listing across our Flow network in South Australia, there'd be many talented girls listening in right now. Their seasons are probably done, dusted, wrapped up, just like the SANFLW season. If they want to come, spend a bit of time in the Barossa, play a bit of footy, I'm sure you'd love to have them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as I was talking to you off air, I'm actually a Streaky Bay original, so I'm from Streaky Bay, and I did notice this year Port Lincoln had a girls' league this year, so it's great to see across the Eyre Peninsula that they're looking at girls' football as well. I think it's a great asset to clubs moving forward, and it only helps bring people into your club as well. So yeah, certainly if there's anyone from the West Coast or from wherever, we're happy to give you girls. We do play full oval, which is great. So anyone out there wants to have a go at girls footy, we're more than happy to bring them into our league.
Good stuff. Adam doing great stuff in Barossa Light and Gawler women's football. We'll have you back on in the future and give the girls a bit of a plug and have a chat about the football itself, which I can tell you I've watched pretty basically every weekend. Watched some games every weekend since the competition started, and it is pretty good stuff too. So we'll talk more about it in the future here on the Sports Fix, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, man.